Well, I can only assume that you shouldn't really be watching me stream whilst at work, honestly. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet, misbehaving. We shall see. Generate forests, yes. No, not lakes or buildings. They just get in the way. Mind you, forests get in the way, but continuing intake will leave off. Fog of war. Failure conditions, yes, we'll keep those on. We'll start with small and we'll build up. This will be a career prison. We are probably going to take this all the way to the point that I sell it and then start another one. Hello, Sir Mojito. Alright, let's start this up then. Ooh, that's quite a lot of forest actually. And immediately let's pause this. Now let's have a proper look around. Okay, well that's actually not too bad, though this is going to be a pain to sort out there. Right. I think we should try and build a prison that will house maximum security prisoners. I think it is only fair. We are, after all, tasked with helping turn back to the path of the righteous all those who may have strayed, probably as a result of drinking coffee. But we won't be using tea. That would just be overpowered in this instance. We're going to have to do this the hard way. And that is with beatings. I mean, rehabilitation. Okay. We've got workers. I haven't played this too much lately. We'll leave that open and see if I can get the basic facilities up and running before they get here. We're going to need an administrative center, basic detention center. And that's all we can take right off the bat. Okay. Hello, Garoon. Hello, Americans. All of you. Every single one of you. All Americans. Hello. Right. Right. The first thing I like to do is plan out where I'm going to be having my administration. And let's place them down here, far away from everything else, I think. We don't even need these guys to be a part of the prison proper. But we do need them to have 4x4 rooms. So we're going to want about 5 of these in total. And one more there. Okay, so that's our 5 offices taken care of. I also like to have the staff room down here, but that's a building that we'll be building up later. We can build that there. Actually, I tend to prefer having either 1 or 3 wide corridors. So we'll move that up and we'll make this a 3 wide corridor area. Actually, this would be drawn out over there. Okay, so that's my administration center and also the staff room. My day has been quite good. Thank you, Kiki Cool. How about yours? Now, garbage and deliveries. You can actually move these into the prison proper, but I usually leave them outside. Now, where am I going to have the entrance? I could have the prison actually enter up here. That might be a good idea, actually. We'll have the entrance about here and have a 3 wide corridor like so. So I'll have a gate there, a metal detector there, and then another gate there. Right, a double gate in, metal detector, small prison gate. And that will be my entryway. So that way I can search any family members who come to visit, make sure they're not trying to smuggle in any tools in a massive cake or anything comical like that. What is my opinion on chocolate milk? Well, unless it comes from chocolate cows, I don't think it's natural, honestly. I haven't thought of the name of this penal colony. That's a very good point. Perhaps I should. But for now, I'm just trying to work out the basics. We'll have this wall coming down there. And then this will be the main part of the prison. Now, the thing I like to do is I like to have the actual quarters, the cells themselves, towards the middle. Since they updated it so that they can actually try and dig their way out, it tends to be better to have them in the middle and as far away from the edges of the map as possible, where you might have your walls. Also, I'm thinking we'll have our power plant and our water by there. So there we go. And then I can have this. This will eventually be the walls going right around the prison. Either perimeter walls or fencing, something like that, perhaps. Doesn't really need to connect up here. This doesn't even actually need to be a part of the prison itself, but generally speaking, I like having the staff room connected in such a way that you can get in from within the prison, not having to go through all of these locks. Otherwise, everyone who doesn't have a key, that is all my workers, won't be able to get in there, the chefs and things like that. Let's see. Do I like dogs or do I like cats? I don't dislike either, but I like dogs the most, I would say. Right then, that is the main thing. I've got my general idea. So let's actually get our workers to start working on something. First and foremost, let's have them... Oh, I need to select that. I would like this built. Right, so get to work, please. And whilst I'm actually building all this up, let's get some extra workers as well. Now, I want to get the offices done as soon as possible because I need to start work on getting an accountant as quickly as I possibly can. Until you get an accountant, I'm fairly certain that you can't have a negative daily cash flow. Yes, you can't have a negative cash flow until you've hired an accountant. So until then, if I'm not making money, I can't spend more than that. But after then, even if I've got a massive, I've got a massive surplus right now, I could afford to be negative 300 for a little while. But until I get an accountant, that's just not going to happen. Also, we need to speed this up a little bit. Now, the next thing, we're going to need a holding cell. I don't typically keep holding cells for later on. I don't actually like using them. Let's drop that down to single speed. I don't typically like having holding cells on the whole. Let's draw this out, and we'll make this... we could possibly make it large enough and then convert it into a common room at a later time. Or I could have this be a visitor center. In fact, having the visitor center really close by is a good idea, since it means that people aren't going to have to go too far, the families, when they're coming in. So I'm not going to have to make my prison less... where are you? Less secure. Let me just check the dimensions of this. This is 3 by 2. Okay. Right. Let's go ahead and draw this out then. So we want a 3 by 2 visitor center. And we'll leave a little bit of room there. 3 by 2. Another little gap between them. Gap that way. There we go. That will allow me to have 4... Yeah, so 7 by 9. So I want to change dimensions to that. There we go. And we'll... Right, have you done that? Good. We'll get them working on the foundation there. They'll also cut down those trees while they're at it. Chop, chop. Now, the way in here, I want the staff to be able to get in via a staff door. And it may as well be there. And then I'll have another staff door leading into the actual administrative section. But as soon as this is made, I like to watch over the foundations because I don't like it when they just randomly stick lights everywhere. That really annoys me. So we're getting rid of those straight away. And also we need more foundations. These foundations need to go there. Like so. And I wouldn't mind having just a regular door coming in from the outside. Well, that said, actually, the people in here never actually leave the prison, so there's really no need. I'll just hook all of this up, and we should be good. Requires entrance. Let me see. Can I extend this out and demolish that wall there? No. Damn. Should have done that a different way. Let me get rid of that one then. If that works. It might not. I might need to delete that like this. Ah, there we go. Fantastic. Right, the entrance for this one is just going to be a regular door. But I want it there, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to wait. Right, so while I'm waiting on that, let's get some more walls built. A main spine. How do you need? How do you mean, sorry? A main spine. I'm not sure. We'll have concrete walls. This is a prison, after all. There we go. And, you know what? For now, I can afford to use fence. Just to keep costs down. But that will be changed later. There we go. Fantastic. Right. Whilst you're working on this, let's also get some walls in here. We'll have the door over there. And doors in the middle. Well, more or less in the middle, considering it's it's the wrong dimensions to have a middle of the wall. Right, there we go. I don't play with any mods. No, I wasn't really aware that there were mods for this game, honestly. There we go. Now watch like a hawk to make sure they don't add light bulbs that I don't want. Is this one finished yet? Oh, they chopped down the tree. Ha! Caught you. Just in time. And door has gone in. This will be made into a very temporary holding cell just so I can get the grant. And then it will be taken down. I don't really like using holding cells for my prisoners. I like them to have their own rooms. Now then, where are the desks? Each one of these offices is going to need a desk. A chair, a filing cabinet, and that is it, actually. Filing cabinet can be against this wall. Like so. And the office chair can be there. I know some people make these fairly clustered. I don't actually know if the filing cabinet serves a purpose, is if they actually need to walk up to the filing cabinet for anything. But even if they do, I prefer the look of this design. There we go. Now, as for... As soon as these have the furnishings in, even if there's no electricity going to this place, it won't matter. Also, I don't need to demolish that anymore. There we are. Fantastic. Right, this one's ready. Though, actually, having said that, I need this door to be a jail door if it's going to be... well, actually, no. I think the holding cell doesn't matter if it's a jail door. Let's see. Indoors toilet bench. That's all I need. Fair enough. And I would like a toilet. Another door. An internal wall. And a bench. There we go. That'll be our holding cell. Yeah, I am. I actually use metal detectors quite actively through the prisons. It does sometimes lead to people getting accused of carrying something when they're not. Bloody metal detector. You'd think a metal detector would be reliable, but no. No, not reliable in the slightest bit. Let's get rid of that. And just for symmetry, we'll pull this out to the end. There we go. I'll probably block that off, though, so people can't get up there. Now, is this going to work? Toilet bench needs to be installed first. Right. Okay, we've got 17 hours before anyone gets here. So, whilst my workers are getting things done, we need to look at the next thing. We need a shower, a yard, a kitchen, and a canteen. At least 2 guards and at least 2 chefs. I'm not going to hire the guards or chefs until after the first night has passed, so that I don't have to pay for them. That is, pay their wage for that night. Right, the next room we're going to work on. The shower. Well, actually, I suppose I could work on the canteen. Yeah, we'll work on the canteen, actually. Though, before I even get to that, let me set out a storage room. I would like the storage room to be fairly large, because I do tend to end up with quite a lot of things to store in the end. Not quite that large, though. Actually, that'll do. Bring that down. That'll leave 3. Pull that one back 1. Okay, and I like my storage room to actually be a room rather than just open to the sky. Just one of those little quirks, really. The door for this can be a staff door. Really, it should only ever be workmen going in here. So pop that there. And there we go. The holding cell is fine. Oops. Have you not? Yeah, you are building that. Alright. Now, I may need to use that holding cell. I hope I don't. I don't like having to use them. No, I don't. From what I understand, there is a bug that allows you to have locked open jail gates, and the prisoners still regard them as secure, but personally I think that's flagrant use of an obvious bug. And I don't approve. Not slightest bit. Right, have we got everything in there? Yes, we have. Okay, fantastic. Right, let's get our staff. Warden, go ahead, grab your office, wherever it is. Oh yes, I need to actually define the office, don't I? Let's see, where is office? There we are. There we go. Have you picked up your office? This one lacks an office desk and a chair. Warden's office, fantastic. Right, Warden. I would like a accountant as soon as possible. And then once we've got the accountant, we'll get an extra 5 grand. I'm very glad you enjoy it, Tag Owner. Good respective time of day. Indeed. Right. Why have I got all these doors around? Have I built a door into that wall? Oh, no, that door's there. I see. You know what? Just in case I actually do need to use that as a cell, I will replace that with a proper jail door. Has that finished? No? Maybe? No, it hasn't. But I need to start thinking about where I'm going to have the kitchen and canteen. Right. Has that built any lights in there at all? Yes, it has. Quite a few. Get rid of all of those. Don't want any of them. Our warden is currently reading by candlelight, I imagine, because there are no lights in there. What a dapper fellow. Don't worry, tea gives you superpowers. You can see in the dark. And our warden is most definitely drinking tea. Right. Let's see. Object. Sink there. Sink there. If I have cookers spaced one apart, how far down can I take this? Damn it. Actually, no. I could just have a wall of cookers. Let me just double check. Is this even? Yes, it is. Well, that's awesome. That means this side is going to be even as well for fridges. Well, that works out perfectly. That'll be an enormous canteen, so we're going to have plenty of room for expansion later on. Now, though, I need to work on... We'll also be able to tuck the bins in at the side there. We'll have a staff door down here. Possibly even a staff course going straight into storage. I'm not sure that these guys will actually need that, though. Do I like British tanks because they come with electric kettles? You see, generally I do like anything that has the capacity to make tea, but really, I'm not going to grade a tank on whether it can make tea. Its job is to blow other tanks up, one would assume. Well, I guess it depends on the tank, but by and large, that is going to be the criteria against which it is judged. Right, and I would like... Generally speaking, I would like the canteen to be fairly easy to get into. But I will have a metal detector on the door. There. And I'll also have staff doors there and there. And a staff door down here. These will be the serving benches, so people can come out there. And then I need to work out how many combos of... Oh, actually that works out quite well. This is working very well. This may give the impression that I'm know the actual dimensions of things. I don't, I promise you. This is just luck. Actually, let's bring that in like that. Okay, so these will be the table down the middle and benches on either side. That's actually going to be a really, really big canteen. That will be more than enough for this prison, I imagine. For as long as I may have it. We also want to add the staff doors on this side. And there will be a metal detector in there. We'll just delete that wall. But for now, I'll put a basic door. Well, I would if that tree wasn't in the way. Okay, so that'll take care of our kitchen and canteen. So all that remains is a shower and a yard. Now, EVE Online or Riot? My lord, Tree Sniper 12. I shouldn't have even let you know that I play that game, or played, rather. Have I finished bureaucracy? No, I'm still working on finance. Right, well, I'll let my engineers get that sorted. But actually, before I do, let's go ahead and plant the power station and the water pump station. Let's get those done. See, this is the problem with forests. This is going to take them a long time to hack through all of these trees. I suspect we may actually have a problem with getting our prisoners into this facility in time. Now, as for... I like to build cell blocks instead of one large cell complex. I know some people sing about how you should have one large, massive cell block that you can just keep extending and adding onto. But I actually like discrete, smaller cell blocks, because then I can segregate my normal, low or high-risk prisoners into their own little areas. And I tend to find that keeps things a little bit safer. But we're going to have to keep in mind where I'm going to be having all of my workers. I suspect, since storage is closer down to this side, I might even move storage over there at some point. I will have workshops and other jobs like laundry and cleaning present here. I may even have the school, if I build one, to around this area, because that's where people are going to go to work. And yes, the prisoners are going to be working in this. This is a prison. They must pay their debt to society by toiling. They can't be seen to have an easy time. Otherwise, I'll have people actually committing crimes to get into prison. And that just wouldn't work. Now, as soon as those are built... Okay, well, I'm thinking I'll have my cell blocks up here. But I will stretch them out in such a way... And yes, prisoners can escape, absolutely. They can tunnel their way out. So you've got to kind of build... You've got to have an idea where you're going to place things, because the way you put your pipes can really have a massive effect on that. For example, the table isn't 2x4, as far as I'm aware. Let me just bring that up. No, the table is 1x4, as you can see. But as I was saying, the pipes, the large pipes that you need... Because small water pipes can only carry water a certain distance, but the big ones can carry massive amounts of water, and they pretty much have infinite pressure, so they can get anywhere. However, your prisoners can tunnel. When you're not paying attention, they will try to tunnel. And if they get... yes, they can't tunnel under reinforced, that is the perimeter fencing. But if they get to a large pipe, they can follow that pipe. So you don't want to put the large pipe near where they're going to be tunneling, or at least between where they're going to be tunneling and the outside of your prison.